Mouse take that in the future because they forced into this with MP9s aplenty. And they're getting farmed. They've given Falcons a bit of confidence now. Should be able to punt this one in. Unless something crazy happens. Brolin's close A ramp. Jimmy's over towards the balcony. The rotation is heading back over to A.
Yeah, it has me a little nervous, especially knowing that a little MP9 bullet could finish off m0NESY with ease. They are all pathing back towards Royale.
I guess the question is, does m0NESY wait for his teammates? And I think the answer is no. So he's going to be slightly ahead. What's the trade potential? Oh, Brolin's hearing this. Brolin's hearing this.
He hears them coming. He gets just the one and gets traded out by Nico.
The other two are both here.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy might go overlooked.
Spotted. Maybe Jimmy gets overlooked, and maybe that MP9 kill from Royale has set them up for success. There's Jimmy. Gets his, dips down. Elevated angle. Now they strike in unison. Torgy pushes through. It becomes a 1v1. Nico doesn't have the health for this. He'd have to hit the bullets. And he does. Finds Jimmy. Oh, what a golden opportunity for Mouse. It comes down to just 3 HP on one opponent, but Nico wins it.
Looking like that was going to inject some life into Mouse right there.
It did, didn't it?
I feel that they... And I know, actually, I don't feel. I can see that they are just going to force buy out the map.
Yeah.
So there is a M4 available for Jimmy. He had 3.75. He's able to get himself the biggest gun on the CT side. 2 Famises, an MP9, and a Scout to work with. So if they can take Falcons down in this one, with Nico being the only man staying alive in the previous, there's a chance to force them into a very, very poor force buy. A-ramp progression from 2. That is to be put on high alert. I think the big issue for them is lack of head armor if they tussle with this SMG. And they're going back to A once more. So smoke, splashes, and a couple of mollies in the mix for an A execute. Just to the standard up-down. Tight with flames and yourself in for the finish. Nixon just selling something over towards mid in the interim, and he'll head back to group up with the rest of his team. 3 through Palace. So the execute I was talking about, throw that in the bin. This is going to be a surprise.
Just running out with his Mac 10 There you go. Exposed head popped. And just the space take up. Tessa ripping heads. How clean was that?
He is sharp, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's just, there are some players that it's just, their gameplay is extra pleasurable to watch. Like, it's just like, oh, this is, you know, extra smooth.
Yeah, like
it's got like steez to
Remember his spray transfer from jungle?
Yes,
right? That was insane. But I feel like in this Falcons jersey, his aim is, I don't think it's gone up a notch. Maybe we're just taking notice of it more with the type of positions he gets to play. He's looking clinical, knows that he has to play for his spot on this team, so that might even be driving him a bit more. But it's the same when we were watching Tanir play yesterday, right? Like, he is like laser focused, and his clears, the crosshair placement, the time to kill, it's great to watch. And we're saying that with Nico in the server, right? And Nico, sure, he won that clutch, but he hasn't looked anywhere near as clean as Tessa so far.
And you heard m0NESY talking about it just moments ago about crouch, and that has been the word of the day as far as, you know, evolving meta that in the micro with Counter-Strike, here in CS2, the movement and the way in which you manipulate your model in gunfights has become the next elevation, hasn't it, of gameplay. I wondered your thoughts on that. You've seen, of course, Donk being the kind of the figurehead of the movement. People perhaps, you know, applying the misnomer of Donk slide to a much more nuanced discussion about how you maneuver during a fight.
I recommend people go and check out Ash, the coach of Gamer Legion's YouTube channel. He did a video about Kyosuke, right? Or Kyosuke. You can pronounce it however you want. I really don't care.
Good video. I watched that recently.
Yeah, talking about the Kyosuke also has that movement mastered, right? So swinging out, take the first couple of shots, crouch, strafing, right? The way that they're microing in those decisions, essentially causing the enemy to miss as they're adjusting to the head. You've already taken a few shots. You're then crouching under their bullets, standing back up.
We're not talking about holding crouch either. Sometimes you're just talking about tapping it, just so your model kind of dips under their initial first bullet. I mean, we're talking like Neo from the Matrix type beat.
There's been a couple within, well, actually there's been a lot, right? There used to be crouch bobbing in 1.6. Source was all about the consistent movement. In CSGO and CS2, like jiggle peeking, which is something that we all just take for granted now, is something that, you know, was a period of time where not everybody was doing it.
Well, we've heard plenty about anti-bombing difficulties. PS2 presents with that, always active. Look at Bailout, an example, staying. And that's a technical term. Well, we have got all 10 players in the server, or sorry, 9. Torji is on B. Rather close to congregating and clashing, but it seems like something's been called off. Kixon's got a feeling he wants to go and redistribute some window util.
It's just so quiet across the map.
Feels like Monacy's going to get a rude shock, but his pre-aim looks pretty good. Okay, Brolin gets his first, leaping into a second attempt and trying to find a double up with Xertion. It's kept level. Got 35 to find their finish. Out of Palace comes Magist. Nade does light damage, smattering to Spinks, but the smoke, the most important feature, should enable a plant. Kixon hesitant, understandably so. A stray bullet can bring him down. Lose the round. Oof, Torji misses his scout bullet. Good nade damage though to Nico. Hello, what a great follow-up.
Torji
scout
the cover
connects.
away.
They haven't planted yet, Chad. This is over. Okay, Mouse, they fight back.
Has been force after force after force, but finally they've been able to break through. Now, Falcons, what do your finances look like? There's 3 AKs that are minimum. Nico, Kixon, and Magisk all can buy easily. Tessus and Monacy could both get into Galil, so shouldn't be any issues trying to fight fire with fire in the force department. But how far does that spur Mouse forward? It's a tough game to get back into. I would like to see it go the distance because they've also clashed twice on Nuke within a month, and Mouse will have had learnings from that. Remember, this is a 6-map streak for Mouse on Mirage that could be broken in only 2 rounds' time, so you can understand the confidence to want to change the choice. But great to see this evolving between these two teams as we do head into the major in just a couple of weeks' time, as Nico finds another opener. He's been good in that department.
That's what you want to see if you're a Falcons fan. Spinks claws one back onto Kixon top mid boxes. Asking questions of Jimmy.
2 on B to defend this, so still well positioned to Mouse.
Yeah, it looks like this could be a really hard hold. If Spinks goes down. Okay, here's the info. And Spinks does go down, so Jimmy's left to his own devices. He's only got 6 bullets in his mag, and now a bullet between his eyes. Torji rotates through.
They're giving it a go.
Yeah, they are. Gonna try and get ahead of that smoke. Slip through. Oh, and not looking, Magisk. The awareness from Torji to ensure that smoke didn't make the impact sound cue leads to an overlook of his aggressions. Puts us into a 2v2. There's Monacy's Galil from the B apartments. And these two, Nico, Monacy, they convert. They ensure Mouse don't find consecutive CT rounds. They ensure that the conversation about map 3 continues.
You know what's curious about that is the position that Jimmy had adopted told me that he was scared of the B walkout, and then it feels like Spinks didn't believe it. He was like, I'll check, Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's okay, man. And then the jump, he's out of position, gets run down. Jimmy does his best and stem the bleed, but just overwhelmed, overrun. Torji with the heroic play ahead of the smoke gets a kill to make it interesting. But 12 confirmed, and the map streak about to be broken for Mouse.
Yeah, what was it, 6 in a row?
6 in a row.
Well, that's not going to be seeing a 7th. Certainly feels that way. 7 consecutive demanded of them, and then pulled up with scouts and MP9s. Through Con. Questions of Xertion, getting run and jumped at by a Mac 10, and he's done very well, you know. By getting his, Spinks as well from short side another. Roland dinks up on the Palace player. This one has fallen through the fingers of Falcons. Oh, the feathers.
You see now still showing fight. The low HP of the Eminem duo. Combine over towards middle. Jimmy's rotated towards B. Torji's in the window. Brolin over towards CT spawn. The shots need to be clean, which means Falcons either need to be clearing these angles diligently, making sure the crosshair placement is perfect, or get the jump on either of these individuals. Jimmy's pushing Cat. Does he get a great timing? SMG at range will do.
It would work, but it looks like they're going to be masked by that turn of the corner. Monacy and Magisk.
Torji should have him. Oh, he's in between two mines.
Not looking.
He's flicking back and forth, or at least he was. Not anymore. Not.
Oh, yeah, just in time.
Oh.
Did he?
He must have, yeah. Mouth moving.
They worked it out. They worked it out. And there's a nice one from Brolan. Sweeps the last two under the rug. Keep going. Yeah, that's the mantra. It has to be. I mean, you're cornered. You cannot concede another round if you want to keep your Mirage streak going. It has to be 6 more.
Tough for Jimmy. Only kept his hands on the MP9. Couldn't find a rifle in the mix there. So still, it will be a mouse full buy. Whereas Falcons continue to have himself in the min loss bonus. Okay, Galil, a couple of digs and a P250. The fight is there for the markings of a comeback. Winning this one will get them up to 7 and more than likely guarantee them the 8th, just making it 4 rounds required to get them up to the 12-12 scoreline to force this into OT. And Mouse know that.
Burning through their util quite swiftly though, Mouse.
Chip terminal is almost ready.
Valuable intel to inform the remaining setup. Torji holding the short cross. Spinks to react off of the intel. He gets that clean headshot to the back of the head of Tessess. Traded by Nico. That AK does deliver a necessary equalizer.
I want that gun.
Yeah, a bit of parkour to secure it. Nice little nade from the CTs there. Not overcommitting. 45. They're hoping Maus overplay their hand here.
Roland's push could be round winning.
Yeah, looks like it might be arriving just after Kixon calls it clear. You know, it's going to be that little moment. Too late. Oh, he rounds the corner. No one's looking. Nico is, I tell a lie. He's actually holding. Walking dead to Brolan. An important pick off. Maus should have them exactly where they want them now. Forced, channeled into Xertion's A site. A headshot hit by Spinks. Denies the plant. Clean.
Well, now they know they've forced Falcons into the 1900 loss. We have a great push. Very good push indeed. So with the 1900 loss coming through, it is going to have to be the eco taking Falcons now. No point trying to force the hand anymore. So 12-7 about to become 12-8 unless this Nico Deagle can go absolutely bananas. He's all of us.
But yeah, and he mutes his mic before he does it. So
that's what Shocks used to do too. Shocks used to insta-mute and then just like...
Just slam it up and just wax lyrical.
Silent approach. X-Floud delivers 1 and the 2nd. Takes down his idol, takes down his leader. 3 versus 5 as Youngstar just dunks a grenade and deals with Vacadia. Aurora slaughtered in this one. Youngstar blasting through finally here on Mirage with the triple. The scoreline will be equalized at 6-6.
Put it away. The temptation for a moment there. Monacy thought he had a back turned.
Well, Toshi turns his MP9 into an M4, and now he should be able to get given an AWP, or just buy his own. So this is the thing. You may as well spend your pennies. You lose 1 round and you're done, Mouse. So it is just now a 4-round game. This has become more than doable, manageable in their wheelhouse to keep the dream alive and push it to OT for a potential 2-0 against Falcons. Falcons are lacking in their purchase. A Galil for Kixon, limited utility.
And a very direct call.
It's Torji, the only man on B. He was the hero on Dust 2. Actually, he was the king of the castle on Dust 2.
He certainly was. And now with his AWP primed and ready, he doesn't need any help. He's going to do some fallback AWPing, demonstrated perfectly as he removes the first, drops off, repositions just in time for another. Torji, solo hold of this site, just racks them up, sends them back from whence they came. Torji does it all for Maus. Superstar level AWPing. his domain, and he delivers.
Record that, right? Put it in a frame. Put that on the fridge. Send it to all of the AWPers in any of your teams in Counter-Strike. That's exactly how you do it. You saw the angle management there. It is absolutely perfect. That is exactly what you want from your AWPer.
Chef's kiss.
You miss one shot, yeah, the dominoes fall down. Just don't miss, and Torji demonstrates that perfectly. That's how you can manage those angles. That's how you can put on a show, and that's how you can make this just a 3-round game. What was an eco into a buy will now be a partial. There's 3 likely to become 2. Falcons, I know they only need 5 kills. 1 more round, shove this over to Nuke. But they are being made to work.
This timing of his arrival here, just as that body rounds the corner, it's just a thing of beauty.
Airdrop incoming.
Just marvelous, marvelous sequence out of Torji. 4 bullets expended, 4 bodies on the ground.
Yeah, that's like when you have Device on Inferno in A. The way that he manages those angles, that's beautiful. I love everything about that sequence from Torji. They're trying it again, Alex.
Appreciate the craft. No AWP this time, but Jimmy, he might get early answers. HE scuttles into Magic's face. Additional block util from Spinks puts him on half health. Okay, they do avoid that Spinks spam.
Do you brave the smoke? It looks like they're gravitating towards it.
I see a lot of flashes being pulled out. 3 players are about to layer their flashbangs into this site. How does Jimmy handle this? Damage jumped over the majority. TSS down. No trade. Jim jumping in for Magisk to try attempt to get his boots on the ground. Just the one from the Nico Deeg, but the rotations arrived. Cavalry canters over. A missed shot from the Nico Deeg. Won't get many more chances. Monacy and Nico, though, are trying to make a case. Hasn't been able to track Jimmy cleanly. Gets him low on that bench position, but closed in on from every angle. It's Jimmy's turn for the multi-kill in defense of B. And what was previously seeming like a pipe dream of 7 consecutive has become now just a realistic 2.
Spinks had something he really wanted to get across to the team there.
I did my best to talk over it so we couldn't hear it.
No. They cut the mics on it anyway, but he said guys, and there was a message that he wanted to kind of get through in that situation. And when you reflect on some of these back and forth rounds we had earlier in the piece, it was very direct from Falcons, wasn't it? It was grouped up a lot of the time, and we'll see now if they want to try and finish with something a bit more default, as TSS and Nico in through underpass, kicks in a Monacy top mid, Magisk in spawn to lob out some late mid-control util. But you know Mals are going to have everything. There's that late smoke from Magisk, lands in window. Control. Here's Falcons if they want it. Oh, blocks the smoke by accident, Torji. That might help.
Certainly might. Nico's going to probably give that a wide berth. Doesn't want to get caught out investigating too vigorously.
Airdrop incoming.
Again with Jimmy's B side, they really want to try and punish, and Torji around the gap, he manufactured by virtue of the blocked smoke. Monacy just the one. Spinks has already got that double. Movement from Monacy is a thing to behold. It was beautiful, but not enough. Not at all. Again, sent back to spawn.
6 consecutive rounds as part of this comeback now. Oh, I wish we could have those mics on all the time.
Oh, cool.
It would be so good.
I mean, you know, he's been sitting on this timeout, watching as his team flails to close it out, but Zonic decides to save it for the last round of regulation, his last 30-second chat, and they don't even have like all the bells and whistles. They don't even have the buy.
Because the loss bonus is in place, sure, but within that 6 consecutive spree, you didn't plan the bomb once.
Well, that limits your funds. Mouse are basically licking their lips thinking that this 7th round is a gimme. They've just done it against harder buys. And one more would just be a huge release of the pressure valve.
12-5.
12-5 to 12-12 is one hell of a comeback.
And the energy that they brought into map number 1 disappeared into map number 2, but Falcons were just here to play. They had woken up. Oh, looks like we have a bit of a tech. You don't love to see that so late in the piece, but Cyclone and the ref exchanging a smile.
Yeah. I mean, there is the odd occasion where like your mic doesn't unmute and you'll end up burning your 30 seconds and not getting a chance to talk to your troops. But it looks like the timer is ticking down, Admin team have yet to interject, so I can only assume that this 24th round is about to go down. God, it's tough for IGL when you're in this position, you know, struggling to close out on the T side. You feel kind of exhausted and out of ideas. Your players are struggling to bring the same energy they once were.
It's a mid feign into an A execute.
That's the call.
Torji, right place again. That was the story of him on Dust 2. He's over towards Ticket to help the likes of Brolin deal with this A play. Smokes are in the air.
Yeah, sailing through. No immediate commitment. And then a second wave.
The safe zone is
How the
collapsing.
Utor sails through. Torji under scrutiny. Oh, that was the fight. That was what it was all about, was finding Torji early. He's been caught out by Nico. He still takes one. Tessus needs cover. They could jump up here. Nico's not looking. Oh, and the spam from Exertion. The bomb's still planted. Spinks combined. Exertion another. It all falls apart, and Mouse have completed it. 7 consecutive rounds. They stand their ground.
What was that from Exertion? He gets 2 kills just completely through a smoke there as part of the retake. That's insane. And Torji gets 1 kill, caught out of position, trying to play anti-flash. They're leaking out. Palace still gets away with this. That's the bomb planner. And then he gets another one. He just peppers through the smoke again for another kill.
Just like that, and then Brolin will finish off the job. Honestly, had to get proactive, and that is beautiful from Mouse.
That was really good, Torji. That was really good.
Not wrong.
Well, that's Aurora. Yeah, that's definitely Aurora. That's the signature Zentara's...
Zentara's Siren.
That's the Zentara's G-up right there, I think. Okay, 12-5 to 12-12.
Accidentally blocks the incendiary. It doesn't burn him out, and it had an opportunity.
Sorry, what?
I don't even know anymore. So many moving parts all over the place.
The cohesion, like the coordination, the coordination of Mouse right now. This is like Cirque du Soleil level of choreography and perfection.
It's like they've spent 8 months working on this routine that we're watching right now.
It's a thing of beauty.
Everything, like every piece, like the little bit of bait, a little bit of Utah, a little bit of comms, a little bit of everything.
Just that sequence right there was... They must